Hi everyone, it's Chris Bryant here, the founder of OPMC, and today I want to tell you a little bit about multi-platform e-commerce app and plugin development. Now, whether you are a listed corporation or a growing SME with 20 staff, developing for your own business services and products a Shopify app, a WooCommerce plugin, or add-on software for any one of the other dozens of e-commerce platforms can be a challenging and costly process if done in the wrong way and using the wrong people. So you have a service which is valuable to your clients. Maybe you have an established API already, but now you need to gain better market access by delivering to new and existing customers software on their preferred commerce platform. So you have a service which is valuable to your clients. Maybe you have an established API, maybe not, but now you need to gain better market access by delivering to new and existing customers software on their preferred e-commerce platform. Having over a decade of broad and extensive experience, specifically in the e-commerce plugin and app development space ourselves, for both clients and our own digital e-commerce products, and across a number of platforms such as Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento and BigCommerce. In this video, we delve into some of the key considerations to have when embarking on a project like this for your business. Now, this may be related to your business or a new venture. For our clients, they're typically looking to extend accessibility to their product by offering it across multiple e-commerce platforms. If you're looking to offer your product across multiple e-commerce platforms, whether proprietary or open source, such as Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, BigCommerce, or something else, the idea itself can usually be applied into a multi-platform environment. There may be some restrictions here, which we cover in platform strategy. Now, what about market viability? Well, a step which may not be relevant for your business, but important to consider, is viability and potential market demand. If you're not clear on the market, research is important to ensure you don't waste time and money on your idea, which does not get the right return. Approach to market is another consideration. Here I'm talking about why you are launching this in the first place. Is it that you'll be launching a first-to-market product, or are you doing it to keep up with your competitors so you have a similar offering? Being clear on why you are developing the market solution does determine the approach you should be taking. How about budget? Well, while budget operators are regularly offering cheap apps in the marketplace, these are usually relating to apps for your phone that reproduce existing features of your website, such as being able to view your website services, log in via your website, and send inquiries via email. Not what this video is about. The sorts of businesses that develop e-commerce integrations are different. They need to have a track record of delivering reliable, quality code which is robust and well tested, as ultimately the fate of the e-commerce store's success of the merchant that is your customer is in the hands of these firms and how reliable their tools are. Next, you should be considering your MVP, or minimum viable product. This is what the product will be and the features it will have when it is first launched. Having too little in the MVP may negatively impact your reputation, although if you are first to market, customers have nothing to compare to, so may help you launch that initial product faster. If you have too much in your MVP, you may bury the project as it is mired in extended timeframes and reduces your competitiveness. In terms of a platform strategy, when developing a solution for your customers, it's standard practice to consider a multi-platform approach, especially to the most popular platforms. After all, different businesses are going to be using different platforms. For example, catering to just Shopify, despite its market dominance, will exclude a large number of prospective customers. You can poll customers on their preferred or current platform to help lead your strategy and priorities. Each platform has differing technology. At OPMC, we involve our specialists in your business, APIs and so on, across all platform builds. This allows us to have consistency and knowledge transfer for all the builds. We'll then have platform-specific developers who can best build the solution for that platform, such as BigCommerce, all while having the guidance from our team members with the expert knowledge in your business APIs and technology. Another consideration is the marketplace capabilities, rules, and limitations. For example, at the current time I'm making this video, listing on the WooCommerce.com marketplace, they don't keenly accept new payment plugins. In fact, it's very difficult. WooCommerce.com doesn't accept plugins which you wish to distribute for free unless there's a revenue share and it's at a certain volume. Meanwhile, Shopify has restrictions on apps related to BNPL, Buy Now Pay Later, and is not offering access to new payment gateways at the moment. Shopify does not allow for functional changes to their checkout payment process, at the moment anyway, so if your plugin needs to access this, it's not permitted. And other platforms also have functionality restrictions, which means the full capabilities of your service may not be accessed by customers. It may be that you have a different approach to different platforms based on their limitations and capabilities, but this is something important to consider. Next up, you need to consider who will do the development and lead you through the process from start to finish and the launch of the product. Here, I suggest focusing on overall lifecycle cost to the business. The cheapest quote has a lower upfront expectation on price, but if the service provider doesn't bring enough experience, then the project cost will blow out, and sometimes more importantly, the timeframes. In the development of our own plugins and apps, whether Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento or otherwise, we find typically that the biggest cost to us is not the spend on development, but the time frame. So if we spend 150 hours on a project, but due to issues and internal priorities, it took 3 months to deploy, then it can be more expensive to our business than a 500-hour project that took 2 months. I'd also consider demonstrable experience by the service provider. Many firms tend to be experienced in everything, can do anything, but not very good at much. In the case of OPMC, our client plugin and app projects are born from our own thriving business experience, producing our own commercial plugins. We are already producing commercially viable digital products and investing our own money in these. Now, of course, an alternative approach is to develop in-house. This works well in a number of cases. However, I would give the following advice. In building your own team, you need to commit to resourcing for all requirements. This means that if you have 1 to 3 developers on the project, they will only be suitable if they are experienced for the job and managed well by an experienced technical lead. Time frame can be a killer for a project like this, so a proper QA and testing process needs to be in place. An internal team takes time to establish and build. You need to have a committed budget to see the project through to completion. The team may be pulled into other projects by your senior stakeholders who have other priorities. In terms of setting expectations, if going down the route of engaging with an external partner, it's important you set clear expectations and develop a good relationship with the business you partner with. I know, it sounds strange, right? This needs to be done at the beginning to avoid major delays and ensure issues can be mended when there is a problem and at that time. This will definitely help you better understand up front who the best provider is. Have you considered how you'll distribute this to existing and prospective customers? With Shopify, you can create a private integration, or you can list on the Shopify App Store. This does require an approval process. With products like WooCommerce, you can apply to be a partner on the WooCommerce marketplace at WooCommerce.com, manage this through your development partner, or sell on your own website, or even distribute for free there, or via the Wordpress.org marketplace. Each of these methods have their own approaches and challenges that need to be considered. Now, supporting a customer base requires a dedicated team of people who specialize in this space. Just because you already have a customer support team, this may be quite different. Support for e-commerce apps and plugins can be incredibly broad and time-consuming to resolve without the right resources, processes, and team. Support for e-commerce apps and plugins can be incredibly broad and time-consuming to resolve without the right resources, processes, and team. At OPMC, we deal with thousands of customers a year who have a broad range of feedback for us and broad skill sets. Those who don't know how to install the software, right through to those with detailed feedback and even code feedback. Some customers expect responses within an hour, as it impacts substantially their online store right now, whereas others are happy to wait a week. If you have a WordPress website or otherwise with, say, a WooCommerce store, best practices in customer support mean the first things customers expect is that their e-commerce business doesn't fall apart and lose money because their new plugin or app from your business is broken. Maintaining and improving your e-commerce plugin or app is just as important as developing it in the first place. You can expect to have customer feedback in the initial phases, which can positively shape the customer experience and grow product adoption. I'd highly recommend attention to this. There's also new features to add, support for new software requirements and compatibility, such as changes to the Shopify App Store or new software releases of WooCommerce, for example. The list goes on. Healthy apps and plugins need ongoing regular attention and input, just like a business does. Planning to launch a forever product which doesn't have an ongoing budget is the best way to sink that project. To summarize all of this, the success of your digital e-commerce apps and plugins will depend on a number of factors which need a good partner with relevant experience or an internal team. For more advice or to inquire about your custom plugin development project, I encourage you to reach out to our team at opmc.com.au. Well, that's all from me. If you liked this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you didn't like it, please give it the thumbs down and tell us why. And as usual, if you want to continue receiving content like this, please subscribe to our channel so that we know someone's listening and we will continue to create great content. Thanks.